All right, tell me how John Wick 4 was.
You want to do this before the vacation?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
John Wick 4. By the way, there's going to be massive spoilers here, so buckle up.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
Okay.
It's an amazing movie. If you are a John Wick fan, dear Lord, you need to see this. I've had so much glee in the past week of posting the Rotten Tomatoes critics and users scores of 90. They were 96%. They've dropped. They've plummeted to 95.
Oh, it went from 96 to 95.
It's being called the greatest action movie. And here's, okay, now I know I'm a John Wick fan. I know I'm a fanboy.
Yeah.
After having seen it, I don't see how an action movie can be more action than what this one was. They can't go any farther. And I'll tell you why. I will tell you why.
Okay, tell me.
Because part of the John Wick appeal is that he's so over the top, so over like hardcore. I'm going to be in this gunfight and I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to get out. There's like 20 people and then there's going to be nunchucks. There were nunchucks.
Oh.
Swords. Donnie Yen is in there. Is his name Donnie Yen? From Rogue One and then something else. IP Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that guy. He was one of the main characters. They are destroying so much stuff and then in so many different amazing locations. They would film them in some place and I would be sitting there thinking, that can't exist. This looks real. This looks like a real place, but there's no way in hell that exists. I had this weird, what's that called? Cognitive dissonance, where I felt like at one point I'm watching like a Lord of the Rings, like this is too fantastic, but it is an office building, and then it's not a fan. It's you would have to see it.
Okay.
They did some really cool camera angles where at one point he's fighting this guy. And it becomes like a slugfest, and they almost make it look like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. It's really fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's so over the top that I don't see how a real serious action movie can't go as far as it did, and a movie that's trying to be cartoonish can't have the seriousness that it had. So I think it is the ultimate action movie from that standpoint. Every move you see, every move. I'm fanboying all over this thing. I know I am. If you've seen the other John Wick movies, Keanu Reeves. I know John Wick is not real. Keanu Reeves has a style of fight. He's learned the judo and all this stuff, so he has like you recognize his moves.
Well, you got your karate chop,
you got your judo chop,
and you got your ninja chop. And
so
that's one thing I like about John Wick is he don't go ninja on anybody that don't need ninjas.
That's right. He does all that. So, gun fanatics go crazy over how he realistically reloads everything, and he does these checks. I watched a thing on YouTube that went in exhaustive detail of how the little cool flips and things that he does to check for the bullet. And they're like, that's what you would actually do. And all this stuff.
Oh,
so
hell
they got him down.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know him. But then on top of it, they've got Donnie Yen, who fights in a completely different style using swords, this weird cane that murders people. All this stuff. He uses doorbells.
Everything murders people.
He used a pencil.
He used a pencil in episode 2.
So he's blind. Well, that was John Wick. This is Donnie Yen.
Okay.
He used. He's blind.
And he said, "I am one with the Force. The Force is one with me."
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he uses these doorbell things to tell where people are coming in this one fight, and it's. So
what? Somebody comes up and rings the doorbell. And he says,
no,
"Hello," and then he kills them?
They walk by and he goes, "Bing, boom," and he's like, and just like headshotting them.
Gotcha.
And then periodically misses because he's blind. So he's got. He's got his style going, and now they've brought in a third guy who's new, who has a dog with him. John Wick fans will remember there was a dog that was featured in the first John Wick. So there's this thing that happens there.
Spoiler, they killed the dog.
That is beautiful. And he has a whole different way of fighting and interacting. So as far as I think that the fight choreographers and the people that were involved in setting the action up, they deserve, if there's an Oscar for that, they deserve that. Because
on a serious note,
it would be so hold on.
Okay.
It would be so easy to make everyone fight like Keanu Reeves does, or everyone do what Donnie Yen does. They have their own separate things, and then the villains themselves have their suits, have armor, so they can only be shot in like a couple of places. So that goes into play. Go ahead.
I've said for years that the Academy Awards should have a category for stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, and that's another thing, is another reason why I don't think that I'm sure it'll be topped at some point, but yeah, I think it'll be a while, because Donnie Yen is an accomplished. He does his stuff.
Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is doing.
He does his stuff.
It's not like a fast.
Say it, Mike.
It's not like a fast cut. Like I'll use the worst example I can think of, which is Clint Eastwood in his later years. When he's throwing a punch, you see him rearing back.
Yeah.
And then you see a shot from behind as he's going, and then you see just a fist by itself hitting a cheek.
Yeah.
And then you see Clint Eastwood going, so
Right turn, Clyde.
this one is like the cameras are pulling back and they're doing the full thing, and then it's coming around. It's all one shot. It's amazing. There is one point. So here's where we get into spoilers, folks. So feel free to go forward if you need to. There is a shot, and it's been talked about in Twitter. It's been on the Facebooks. It's the reason I'm so glad I've already seen this and it's not spoiled, where the John Wick is going through a building. He has to get through it. It's full of the bad guys, and it's a single shot take. It lasts for several minutes, where the camera comes up and it keeps going up out of the room, and then you see the walls, and he's going room to room. He's gotten a hold of a shotgun that shoots like incendiary pellets.
Oh,
so it's
incendiary
like a
pellets.
fire thing. And then the sound, he's going, and it's pulling back, and he's going through the room, and it's all one shot. And as that's happening, they retch all the way back into John Wick 1. There is a very similar scene where it's all one take, and they use the same music between the scenes. I actually leaned up in my seat. It's those reclining things. I leaned up and I said out loud in the Dolby Theater, no one heard me, "No way." And the guys down the thing from me, I saw them leaning forward. People in the back were going, "Woo!" It was awesome. And then I get on the tweeter, and one of the people that we're tweeter friends with was saying there was one moment in the third act that I thought I was going to have a baby or something, and I said, "Is it this?" And I took a picture of the thing, and he had a baby on the tweeter.
Okay,
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful for three reasons. One is it's all one shot. So, he's doing all, not only is he doing all this, but they're doing all the chaos, all the people that are getting slaughtered. Two, it calls back the music from the original scene that made you do that 3 movies ago.
Yeah.
And 3, it ends with him saving the life, spoiler, of a dog. And he has the gun ready to go at the guy that's been trying to kill him the whole movie, looks over, and that guy's dog is about to get shot. And he looks at the guy he's about to kill and goes and just chooses to use the bullet for the villain. And at that point, the guy that he was about to shoot becomes his bud because he saved his dog. And it was a beautiful moment.
Just like the Banshees of Inisherin.
It was...
Thanks for watching my dog. Anytime.
It's an amazing, amazing movie. Go see it. I saw it in the Dolby, and I told Darin I'm going to see it in Dolby. I think that's one of the reasons you decided not to go, because you have to pay about $4,000 a ticket.
You called me and you said you're leaving in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And there was this is what was awesome about this invitation to the movie. I think there's a ticket across the theater that I can get you. So I'm going to go to the movie with Mike, but I'm not allowed to sit with Mike.
The gunshots.
And then it's like, so you went in the evening, which is $13 or $14.
It was the last night. It was the last showing.
And then it's like an extra $12 to see it in the Dolby Theater. And
I paid $9 for my ticket, but that was because I had the rewards.
Yeah.
But the sound was so loud. The gunshots, there were so many gunshots, and then with the pulsing music that I came close. I always carry concert earplugs with me because I'm a guy. I do that
because we're old.
Well, they're on my keychain, and I came.
So you got keys hanging out your ears. What's that? What's that rattling?
No.
Is that an earring? No, there's my keys.
No, you take them out of the case.
Oh, you take them out.
On my key ring.
I understand.
And
gotcha.
I came very close to putting those in because it actually started to hurt my ears. So
you're going to go to the Dolby Theater and then put earplugs in.
I mean, it's a 3-hour movie. I made it 2.5 hours in. It ends. So
and then you have a half hour of trailers.
Well,
or beforehand, and then Nicole Kidman.
Trailer. We got to talk about the trailers.
Okay, by the way, Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars thanked Nicole Kidman. He thanked her. He says, thank you for reminding people to go to the movie theater while they're in the movie theater. And this was like 2 or 3 days after you and I went off bitching for 10 minutes about Nicole Kidman.
Annoying. Yeah, she was on there. 2 things. One is it ends ambiguously or not. It's one of those. They have. I didn't see the post. What's that called? Credits. There's a post credits thing where apparently
there's a scene after the credits.
Yeah,
and you didn't stay for it.
I didn't think they would. It looked like it was over. It was done, and I was like, it was. I had to go to bed. This is at 11:45 at this point on a Sunday.
There's no way I would have went.
Yeah, I do want to talk about a trailer.
Okay.
So there's a trailer for a movie called Sisu, and you and I are going to go see it.
Okay.
Because I think it's Bryan Cranston.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
But I think it is.
Sign me up.
The makers of John Wick, because they had to say that. They said that after the trailer was going for a while.
Yeah.
He is a dude from Denmark.
Okay.
And they mess with him.
Oh.
The Nazis. Takes place in the 40s.
Oh, hell no.
And then he just starts tearing the Nazis apart, like Inglourious Bastard style.
Okay.
And it looks awesome.
Okay.
But I still don't know if that's Bryan Cranston, and I don't want to look it up because I wanted to make it into this podcast saying Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. I'm all about going to see a Bryan Cranston movie.
It looks like him,
Yeah.
and then the next scene is like, I don't think that's him, and the next scene, that's totally him.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth, but it is bad. It's like one of those, in the original John Wick, most of the movie is people saying, "You did that to John Wick? Do you know who John Wick is?"
Yeah.
And they go through the whole thing. That's what like the trailer was. You stopped this Denmark guy and you looked at his dog's ass the way that you did.
It doesn't sound like a movie Bryan Cranston would make, although I didn't think he would make the Godzilla movie either.
It went no.
But Bryan Cranston is all about. It's like, hey,
very.
I like to make money.
It's not like it turns into that actiony, heavy action, but it's very. You've seen Inglourious Bastards, right?
Yes.
You know the opening scenes with the milk and all this.
The opening scene of Inglourious Bastards I loved with Christoph Waltz.
It was kind of
and then I didn't enjoy it after that.
It had a weird tagline. It said the most fun you'll have watching Nazis get slaughtered since Inglourious Bastards. I think is what it said.
That's what it said.
I think that's what it said. Something along those lines.
Okay.
I'm going to look it up while you blather on about your bullshit.
Thank you.